Well, this week has been a whirlwind on Capitol Hill. A lot going on, and it has huge implications on our community.
To help break it all down, joining us in today's Leading SA segment is Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez. Good morning, Congressman. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Can you explain to our viewers what exactly the debt ceiling is? We hear about it a lot. And so from your perspective, what happened with the debt ceiling this week and what could happen in December?
Sure. Before we get to the debt ceiling, UTSA 6-0. We're going to the very excited about that. So on to the debt ceiling. The debt ceiling is essentially the maximum amount of money the United States can borrow utilizing bonds. And the danger in defaulting on any loan is it will impact all of us. Certainly will impact the stock market, certainly will impact our retirement savings and things of that nature. So it's important that in Washington, we ensure that the debt ceiling does not default.
So what does the level of bipartisanship or lack thereof look like right now? And how do you see that impacting the proposed spending bill and subsequent infrastructure bill as well?
Yeah, no, it's difficult up on the Hill. And look, my good friend Henry Cuellar is going to be on later. He's great to work with. We work together on a lot of different things. But the reality is up in Washington, Democrats control everything. They control the House, they control the Senate and the White House. So when you're the party in power, it is your job to ensure that the debt ceiling and other government functions do not get defaulted. They could pass this without having a Republican vote, like many things that they can pass without having a Republican vote.
So you kind of touched on it, in the case of possible default, but what does this all mean for people in and around our community? We hear these stories and we see it on Capitol Hill. We see it from a national perspective, but what should people here in San Antonio? Why should they care?
Yeah, you see these numbers, you see our debt limit, our national debt numbers, and they're just through the roof. They're trillions. It's almost as if it is play money, but it's not play money. If one thing that this does is it gets all lawmakers to come together and have a discussion on spending as well. To essentially go, in your household, if your spouse or you are spending too much money, you have that uncomfortable conversation to go, what are we spending our money on? If this debt limit isn't increased, what we're going to see is a default, which will impact everybody. Last thing any of us want to see.
So your district covers the border. So what are you seeing over there right now? And what was your reaction to the cancellation of the border wall construction contracts?
Sure. I represent 42% of the southern border. I've been at the border over and over again. It is literally as bad as I've ever seen it. And sadly, I believe it's only going to get worse. And it's unfortunate that the administration hasn't really put the resources it's needed. Canceling the wall is destructive. Every border expert tells me we need three things. We need a wall, a structure, we need technology, and we need more boots on ground. This administration has failed to do any of those. So I urge them to please get involved before things continue to spiral out of control.
Now, another part of your district is Van Horn. Exciting week there this week. The Blue Origin launch set. So what has it really meant for the community throughout this whole process? I think they've been here about 5 years now.
No, it's pretty amazing. Look, we're about to send Captain Kirk into space for real, and that's happening in Van Horn, Texas. I think it's amazing. I think it's the fact that innovation has pushed us to this point to where America is leading on the space front. I think it's very exciting. You're going to see more of this space travel happen regularly, which I think is important. But we also can't lose sight of the day-to-day things that are happening in the district as well, like immigration, like border security, like ensuring that our debt limit doesn't elapse and impact everybody. But it's very exciting out in Van Horn, Texas. If I could do one thing, it would change their mascot from the Van Horn Eagles to the Van Horn Space Chickens.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Congressman Gonzalez. We really appreciate your time. Go Roadrunners. And also coming up at 8:30, we're going to have Congressman Cuellar talking about all these topics as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. We'll be checking in with you throughout the morning. Well, earlier this morning on our 8 a.m. version of Leading SA, we spoke with Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez. We talked about the debt ceiling, the spending bill, and the border.
So to get the Democrat perspective, and joining us in our 8:30 a.m. Leading SA segment is Congressman Henry Cuellar. Thank you so much, Congressman, for joining us.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Max.
Well, there's a lot to talk about with the debt ceiling, especially over the last week. From my understanding, the situation's kind of just been kicked down the road. So what do you think happens in December?
I wish it would have not been kicked down the road, because when we talk about the debt ceiling, it's to raise it so we can go ahead and borrow the money for what's been spent. For example, President Trump added $7 trillion to the debt during his 4 years. So we have to pay that debt and other debt that have been accumulated by both Democrats and Republicans. And, Max and Sarah, what happens if you don't pay your debts? Your credit ratings is affected. The same thing happens to the United States. The world's watching us and saying, what's happening in the United States? So we got to make sure we pay our debts, and because otherwise that's going to have a ripple effects from anybody that has any savings or mutual funds. That's going to be affecting every individual and not the country as a whole.
Well, you kind of just touched on it there. So why should people in San Antonio and our surrounding communities care about the situation?
If the credit affects us, that is the United States, if something happens and we don't pay the debt, that will have a ripple effect. It would go ahead and affect the stock market. It would affect any mutual funds or any savings that anybody would have. And when that happens, that affects the individual. And that means that some people could lose savings. And that repercussion, those ripple effects across not only the local, but across the nation and across the world if the United States wouldn't pay its debt. But I'll tell you something, I agree with something Congressman Tony Gonzalez he and I have worked on many things. And I can tell you, we both understand that we have to address the $378 billion that we pay every year on interest. Imagine the interest that we're paying right now, $378 billion a year. We got to do something about this debt, but we got to keep in mind, let's not make it Democrat or Republican, because it's been added by both Democrat and Republicans. Like I said, President Trump added $7 trillion to the debt in just 4 years. So it's both Democrats and Republicans that have to work together to address this debt issue that we have.
It's been a contentious week on Capitol Hill, to say the least. The spending bill, another big point of contention. We've seen the number range from $3.5 trillion to $1.5 trillion. And not to get our viewers confused with the $1 trillion infrastructure bill, which could happen after the spending bill. So what does the landscape look like right now? And in terms of the spending bill and infrastructure bill, if they get passed, what would that mean for San Antonio?
Well, first of all, the $1.2 trillion would bring $30 billion to the state of Texas. That means that the San Antonio area, the transportation district, would get a lot of money that would come into our areas, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, to make sure that we work on our roads, our bridges, broadband, and of course, water lines. We have to address the water lines. The other thing is brings money to the airport. And that's important because we want to see the San Antonio airport grow. So you're talking about broadband, highways, water infrastructure that would be important. That's the first bill. The second bill, everybody talks about $3.5 trillion. I'll tell you, Max and Sarah, I was not in the room when somebody came up with $3.5 trillion. Some people got that number and they want to fill it up with taxes and they want to fill it up with spending. That's not the way we do a budget. We look at what are the necessities that we need to look at, what can we afford, and then we address that. Do I believe in pre-K? Of course I do. Do I believe in taking care of our seniors and vulnerable? Yes. But I also believe in having means tests and accountability. We just can't do something without having accountability and means tests. We're going to get there, but I can tell you it is not $3.5 trillion.
So, Congressman, you recently talked about the U.S.-Mexico security relationship. You talked about modernization and steps going forward. So what is the issue right now, and what are you urging to be done?
I was involved in 2008 with a friend of mine, Ambassador Tony Garza and Roberta Jacobson, as we worked on the Merida plan that we have, the security that we help provide Mexico. A lot of things have changed, just like the trade agreement between the U.S. and Mexico, NAFTA. We now have a NAFTA 2.0 because, again, things change. So we have to address the issues to make sure that we stop the drugs and make sure that we also stop the criminal organizations in Mexico. One of the things that Mexico wants also is they want guns from the United States, especially the state of Texas, those high-power weapons that go into Mexico, because that's what the drug cartels use. So they're addressing that, and I certainly want to get involved as a member of the Homeland Appropriations in that particular area. But one of the things that he spent a lot of time was that he spent time on this immigration issue, because we're seeing people coming into the United States. I would say that if you look at what President Trump did back in 2014, 2015, they encouraged and they got Mexico to actually stop more people on the southern border. And I want you to note this, more people on the southern border with Guatemala than what the U.S. Border Patrol was stopping on the U.S. border. So there are ways that we can engage Mexico and other countries to play defense on their 1 yard line instead of spending billions and billions of dollars on our 1 yard line called the U.S.-Mexico border.
All right, Congressman Cuellar, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And for our viewers out there, if you missed any part of this interview or interview with Congressman Gonzalez, they spoke about very similar issues. Glad to see you guys are working together. And we're going to have the full interviews right now. Just head to ksat.com.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.